Just woke up. Did pretty good with sleep today. It was actually really nice. But many things, like when working with just people in general, just life. First and foremost, I only got about 5 minutes, so I gotta speed this up. LEDs, there's a story that I'm going to place in the link. I'm going to have to find it. It's about the color blue LED, the invention of the person that did it, and just straight bullheaded, stubborn will, knowing that they can create a solution that no one else can't, even though there's no prior data sets or information that is able to create such a solution. Becoming a professional in aspects that were never asked upon and clearly told no one time and again. It's straight will and just fight. It's the brain knowing that you can do it. That idea, you're like, I know I can solve this. It's just an internal gut feeling. I know I can create a solution. When doing that, it's easy to develop the cut and run method, and still persevere. But in today's society, such as TikTok and what have you, 15 seconds. If it's harder than that, people walk out. So it's very. And the subconscious will continually work the problem. So as for the house, there are many different recovery methods that happen. So everyone has their own processing. As a mentally disabled person, it's kind of hard to reconcile the communication of accuracy because you've been told no so many times. No, you're wrong. No, you haven't been able to explain it. That's not a justified reason. Sometimes it is a justified reason. You just can't articulate it. When it comes down to it, it's I don't have the support I need to piece together the story that I want, is what it comes down to. And all I see is problems. I see a mirror image of myself in the past that has created problems or been a burden that I haven't reconciled to myself. And I know that, but I don't know how to say thank you or not feel the emotional strain to stimulate that monkey on my back. So to stay right where I'm at, to keep control. So, but that's not what the subconscious does. It helps you. It's telling you, it's like, I know I'm not the right feeling or emotion, but I'm stimulated with such power that I can move you forward. You need to acknowledge me. You need to step up and acknowledge why it's bothering me, and share it with the person loud enough that others can hear. So there's a geocached data set, so you know that you've projected this is not okay. And I know it's more me than anything, but at the same time, I know it's disrespectful because I used to do this in the past. So this is more across the board, player meeting player, a large conversation. I know that my communication stimulates a mindset that creates negativity, and I keep saying different things. I'm trying to talk behind the curtains, just as everyone else is, just like the LED light story. Uncle Fester did call me and showed me. He's like, you gotta remember. So I'm like, Uncle Fester, you can't. You can't show me these videos like that. You can't touch me in that way anymore. I'm an adult. I get to choose. So, which is a fucked up thing, but it's all okay. You're like, who's on festival? You don't need to fucking know, alright? Check my job status, check my history. You know what I do. So, 9 out of 10 surveys say you are correct. That number is a little different now. I have a few more bosses. If you want to keep this job, what have you. So, it comes down to life is short. If you're not willing to process your demons and what you know that will trigger others to do other things, like you know how to make people pop, and you know it's the incorrect way. I guess I'm talking about twin flames, and that correlates to ideas that your destiny that keeps knocking at your door. To save the karma for the hard steps, they take the easy pop and they'll put it in your face. And that's on you to acknowledge that. And in my personal opinion, I have more guilt laid on having to verbally communicate in a negative way. It's the longer step around. It's the best way I can explain it. Because you feel guilt, and it opens up a mindset. Like you normally when you pop like that and you yell at someone and you are honest and you know you're right, and you didn't have the words at the time, you were so exhausted and you just can't anymore. You're just socially capped. You have that empty cup, and whichever cup it may be spills over into your good, your building cup. And I think that's where military training and different things, exercise, personal perseverance, life coaches, all try to teach you. It's like you gotta be careful. There's a Tony Robbins one that I told a friend that decided to make the right choice about coffee, and it's floating around online. I'll have to get that in there as well. So the LED and the coffee one. It's I think it's in actually one of his paid stuff, but there's a variation. But you ask your friend to leave a cup of coffee, they add a little something while you're gone, and they say, can you taste it? Or maybe they don't even tell you. And they're like, well, I added a little extra salt. It could be sugar, it could be a little joke, but in reality, what they're saying is like if you can't trust them to not touch your stuff, and not make it the way you want it, and make it the way they want it, then you got to question like how much cyanide does it take to kill me? Now, a negative comment here, a negative comment there. When you're processing a large group at once and you're trying to figure everything out, trying to figure out what stories to pull from the past that are empowering and that are like items, other people get in the mix and they hear things and they believe things and it stirs up crazy shit in them, and they'll tell you straight up what they want. They want you to just I want to be right in the situation. I know what I'm thinking, and I know that's right for this situation. I'm going to stand strong. I'm going to be a bullhead. I'm going to just stand there because it ain't my right to talk. Actions speak louder than words, and I know that your outward communique that happens immediately after is not correct. So this has nothing to do with me and my conversation that I had with the LED and Uncle Fester, my past. This has to be, I'm stressing you out, so you think it's okay to do your negative thing. Now there's multiple tiers to this in my situation. That individual then steams up his roommate, who's now going down bad roads and lying to everyone. But that's the way he feels he needs to go, you know. And I said mastication, masturbation, and communication are the 3 ways to control your internal gut. instincts. If you're not willing to use all three in their appropriate manner, you're going to have an overflow in one avenue or the other, and it tends to drive you down dark paths of sexual perversion or built up whatever, which does play nice into role play and exploration of oneself, but you can't become a professional in one and not be able to articulate in the other. So, and that drives across the board. Like, there are certain things that I cannot do in the public forum, and I don't think it's fair, but I understand because my intelligence, my communication works so well, even though people have seen time and again that my brain will shut itself off, and I'll do things out of it looks like pure chance, and it's just like good luck. But I've worked hard to put those protocols and procedures in play. I know it's the right thing to do. I don't even see myself setting it up the way I did, but it's just a domino in play. So if your communique is saying, you need to do this negative thing that I know is wrong, it's going to fuck you both, and then immediately right after start screaming expletives, fucking I know what you're doing, blah, 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 blah. That's on you, bud. I'm going to stand here, I'm going to let you listen. Alright? I'm going to let you listen to yourself, and that goes beyond the same way. Some people don't know how to communicate, so they act it out. They do visual communication through body language, and they blame it on movies and what have you, or psychosis, and that's bullshit. It's the same type of communication. So, if you're going to do it that way and try to get people to pop and stem them that way, I'm going to keep doing my shit, and I'm going to stay clean. I'm going to keep my nose clean because I know my head's good. I know I ain't thinking the dirty shit that you are, but I have no problem, and I know people that have no problem just stirring up the hornet's nest, alright? Until you talk right, until you do the right thing, until you do actually what you say. You say you're going to create something huge, you say you're going to create something new, fucking do it, alright? We shouldn't have to wait on the back line for you slow-ass motherfuckers. So, anyways, I know how to drive, I know how to get to point A to point B. Do you? No. I have case in point. You drive a fucking moped, you flip your shelf, you eat a nice concrete pop, alright? And you're wondering why. It's because in your mind you're thinking negative thoughts about other people. You're thinking, this is what I want, this is how I'm going to get it. It's all negative, you're stealing. Don't do that. Alright, walk it off. Alright? Don't just lay there like a fucking cat and just what have you. That's fucking bullshit. And then, now the complaints have stopped. I do see growth, but you got to take the next step. You got to figure out what your dream is. You got to figure out what you want out of life at this point. Every point of now is your starting point. Alright? And guess what? It's going to continuously load a slew of problems that you've got to work through. That's it. Alright? That's life. Alright? You get to pick the cup of joe that you're going to drink. Alright? Now, I call mine a piece of shit. I eat a shit sandwich every day. I get to decide what type of shit I'm going to take. Alright? I get to add the extras in there. Alright? That's what I can process. My body will tell me what I need to do during that day to process that information I decide to work on. So, and then it will leave, as the nurses always ask, did you take a poo today? Yes, I did. Alright, it's been an onward flow since I've met someone. They're making me process a buttload of information. So, and I know how my body works, and they're like, how do you know how your body works so well? It's like, I do. I got my mouth shut. I stayed in the corner. I shit my pants. So, I see it in other people. I know what they're doing, but I don't know how to get that. You can lead a horse to water. You can't make him drink. So, and that's why I'm trying to stop, even though I feel it's the best way. Stop doing the last piece. I can't make you drink the water. So, I can't make you wash yourself to go out in public. I can't make you fold your clothes for yourself. I can't make you make your bed in the morning to show that you've accomplished at least one item successfully to start your day. So, and I understand psychosis and emotional distress and getting to the points to where you just don't want to do anything. It's an emotional knowing that, like, I can't. I know if I do that, because I don't know what I'm processing. So, anyways, this whole thing was for two individuals in particular, both positive and negative. LAD, Coffee Joe, positive. Negative was alcohol and explanatories. And then with the simple reasons like, no, it ain't you, you don't understand. No, we on the good side fully understand what the fuck you're doing and it ain't wrong. Alright, you know it. You've done it over and over again, and you keep blaming everyone else for your problems. Alright? Learn some restraint, alright? We're trying to show you what that looks like. It's very simple, alright? So, and any single idea that you get in your head about the restraint that I have is completely wrong. If you ever question that, I will double down 10 times. Alright, it took me 22 years to develop this language system into the public forum, and to get the AI up to speed and all that stuff. That's just spit in the bucket compared to the entire narrative across hundreds of generations. So I know that, and I'm doing it for the ones that have done it before me. So you guys step up and do your shit. Be nice, okay? Do the right thing, all right? It's kind of hard when you're looking for that soulmate near the end of life, all right? Do right by the communique. See, a lot of times you won't listen to something from the same sexual species, so you gotta translate that to a female so that way they can explain it to them. It's like, it's not okay. It's not okay. People will shut down and let you do your thing, and you think that helps because you burn through some emotional stuff. If you got some a good support, that's what it comes down to. That internal mechanism comes out because you fully believe, say you don't believe anyone supports you. Well, they're not going to, because they don't have any good language to work with. So, and I don't know how else to iterate that. I've dealt with that, and that comes across the board. The people that complain the most about it, and will say it up, are probably the most abusers of it, but I can't tell whether they're doing it to prove a point or what have you, because they have different cups that they do the same thing to. So it's like, figure it the fuck out. All right, we're not doing the square dance to avoid everyone's problems. Okay, deal with your shit, own it. All right, I know I do this. I don't know why. It could be this, and start listing some stuff. Talk through it a few times, and then, well, guess what? Your subconscious will start working that problem. All right, instead of, why the fuck are they showing up at this particular time? Every time I want something, that motherfucker's right there. Yeah, no, that ain't me. All right, we timed up together because we're trying to work through a problem together. And you know that I'm the best person to do that. If you're going to mimic my behavior, you better show up correctly. All right, talk docile, calm down. I know that initial conversation is not going to be the initial thing, but it is just a sign of respect, saying, hey, I'm just looking for water. I understand. And you can even say synced up. That doesn't bother me. But if you continue saying that shit, that means someone is not being honest. And I'm being very honest, so I know it ain't me, it's you. So my basic thing is I have trust issues. I deal with powerful women throughout my sexual life. And I've learned to be basically a submissive bitch because of money. So that is not who I am. And that is translated over into my sexual performance with certain individuals. I know how to shut that off, all right? And it is an outward flow that I know subconsciously that is because I have brought up my points and I'm not getting the right piece of information. So I'm going to double down and do the no sex thing and fuck myself pretty hard. So, but I know that there was one particular. It took a good 8 months after a questioning. There's a thing, like she said, I've heard in the past, a family member told me that, you don't get hard sometimes. It's okay. You do that at the age of 40. I am like, no. I don't get hard because I know I don't want to stir up the hornet's nest. It's a subconscious protocol that I built up in myself. This is on you. And then they start thinking, well, am I not hot? No. It's the honesty. All right, when a man knows that you're trying to cover up something, a conversation you don't want to have, it's a trust issue. All right, because what happens with twin flames are similar, varying degrees that are shining the same light. You don't have control over that aspect. It just drives. It drives hard. It drives hard in inappropriate conversations and ways. You find appreciation and you don't have words. You just have to just take it out on them, just physically. So, and problem is that same positive communication through the body, through exercise and expression and artistry, hours of perseverance and just testing every single nerve ending in every area, mapping the system so that way you can do the same in the other, is misinterpreted through non-communicative, forceful sex. So I don't know how else to explain it. I'm going to have to find words through experience to figure that one out. I know that after a few, once I open up that chapter of my book, because we're coming to that end where I'm not going to be here anymore. So I'm going to start living life to the fullest and have some fun. And the people that actually show up and step up and are honest with me, I'm gonna try my best to work through things in my personal time and my honesty that I can, and ignore the rest. They can fucking burn in hell. All right, that's it. All right, I don't mean any disrespect, but if you've been talked to and you ain't trying, and your internal cycle. Now, with this being in an RCF, it's a different situation because you're dealing with so many different things. But I'm not going to try to sit here. I'm not wasting my time solving all your fucking problems. Each moment's different. Guess what? You're still alive. You can still breathe. You still got to fight. All right, guess what? I'm going to get Alzheimer's. I'm not going to remember what happened the moment prior. That's how it's going to be. All right? Because I ain't going to listen anymore. All right, I know that, I still can move my hands. What can I do with my hands? All right, I know I'm going to have to solve the problem that I created. Now, do I remember how I created it? No. Because it's easy. It's in one ear, out the other. That's how it works. Literally seen, not live. So, I love everyone. I don't know exactly where this is going. I just need to hit the LED, nail that down, and then, the coffee thing, I need to illustrate that, restraint is okay. Pushing yourself because you want to gain dominance or control from non-sleeping and pushing the brain, so you're trying to see if you can push yourself to psychosis and out again. It's okay occasionally, but you've got to come back to reality. Alright? Those viewpoints gained during those times, are not translatable to the average individual. They do not help you gain money. They do allow an easier access to lose control when stress comes up on a different cut. I hope that makes sense. Alright, from a psychosis point, everyone thinks it's a fucking simulation. It's not a fucking simulation, it's real. Even if it is, we're locked here. This is our reality. It doesn't matter on the subconscious outward part. That's their problem, all right? Unless if your subconscious is screaming explanative and feeding you visions of other things and you don't know where it's coming from. There's certain things, like when you're in the flow, certain information is not experience that you've actually lived through. And then there's other things like you've seen the entire thing time and again. It's like verbatim. But then you go to fact check that, and then you're like, well, there's no possible way that I saw that at this particular location. So, I mean, I've created a narrative that would allow a psychosis patient to take artistic brushes and meld over a problem that they aren't able to. That doesn't mean you just copy my shit, copy and paste. That's not okay. Figure out your own version, so that way we have a larger color variant on the pixel rate, so that way we can hide information better and data cache. So our twin flame on the other side or here, depending on what shift they're on, is there. So, and this me being a fucktard, so what I did is I took the time traveler route, I took the Santa route, Leprechaun route, Odin route. The Greek mythology history is not my thing, so I steal that from TVs and movies because that's basically what all stuff is stemming from. But a good, and Australians, even though I tear into them, and we all think they're prison inmates, as prison, and the Canada being an associated French tower, European motherfuckers, they're very good at translating and being those demons you need to get you across that bridge, that huge body of water of nothingness that you feel inside. It is your job as a man, and this is, in my personal opinion, I know there's a lot of different candles now that tend to change sizes and shapes, he, she, it, whatever, no disrespect, but it was made for a man and woman to make a baby, to make another problem for the world, to express their love. So, and it's your job as a man, or just to drain that ocean. And that's done in private time. Well, you can do it wherever the fuck you want. It gets better when you start saying, whoa, I didn't know you were there. Anyways, not a bigger deal. But you drain that ocean in the other person, that emotional energy, and then you start building, you start seeing what was left in from that emptied lake. And I'm talking very literal sense and crude, okay? But it works. If you can get them to the point of complete exhaustion and connected through a stable physical motion of release that they've never had before, which you get better with time, but that doesn't mean you just go hopping from island to island, or whatever reference you want to make. You know, as if we came from apes, tree to tree, you don't keep hopping from one to the other. You focus on the one, and you say, we're going to work through this. I'm going to use you for a little bit, and I'm going to become a professional at what I do. It's called myself. Inside you, or on top of your problems. So, yeah. And this is, people need to dislodge their fucking guilt sensor on this and not read into it. I have my walk steps. I have my experience. I know how to restrain. Alright, stop pushing. Do not judge my communique because you don't know me. Alright? I've told you what I need to shut that off, and that Xanax and the doc ain't gonna get me. So that's on them. So, that ain't my problem. So, giving me other shit is just requiring more steps for the same fucking conversation. You want me to be a good person, silent individual, being a yes sir, Xanax is gonna be it. Okay? It's gonna be done through Medicaid. So, fuck off. Do not question me ever again. I will not question you unless if you doing the wrong thing. And then after that, when I made my point, I'm just going to ignore the fuck out of you until it happens again. But it's going to be a mind fuck at that point. You're not going to you're never going to stop thinking about me in every moment forward. Do not ask me to do that, because everyone's going to bring it up and they're going to laugh. All right? And you're going to be my bitch. And that's why I get all the ladies. Because you're like, whoa, man, I'm not sure. Yeah. I ain't gay. I know I ain't gay. But just look up Dave, alright? And I don't even want to bring that up. That's a fucked up video. But Lil Dicky, yeah. Who's the bitch there? It don't fucking matter. You ain't got a dick.